an option that it's on, right? Okay, so this session is on portfolio building, right? And there are many ways to create a portfolio, but I will refer to one of the most in demand way of creating a portfolio via website. Now you can create a portfolio via blog, you can create a portfolio via slide, or anywhere. There are a lot of public hosting domains, websites where you can create a portfolio. Some of the widely influenced uh, educators create portfolio via their Facebook platform, sometimes LinkedIn platform. So I'll show you what are the ways in which you can create one and what are the steps, like why we need portfolio. The first question that should be clear in everyone's mind, right, is irrespective of the fact whether you are in first year or you are in final year, whether you're from senior batch or junior batch, the fact portfolio is equally important for everyone. But if you're moving towards your senior batch, the importance is much more. So why we need one? Okay, that's one thing. Apart from that, if you already have a portfolio, so what are the ways you should distinguish yourself from other people? Okay, so you must be going through a lot of portfolios, websites, and many of participants, when they go for their first interview, they face a lot of challenge in representing themselves. Okay, so I'm sure my screen is visible to everyone and I'm also visible to everyone, right?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. So if my voice is lagging, if screen is not visible, let me know about it, right? Okay. So that's the first question that I would be answering. Second question is, what are, top 5 skills an educator? Okay. Is this font readable or should I increase the font?
So readable,
We
sir.
appreciate if you increase it little bit.
Because if you are attending this meeting from a mobile, it might be difficult. Is it
Yes.
better now?
Yes, sir. Perfect.
Okay. So what are top 5 skills of an educator from the perspective of your first interview? Because in our life, there are few moments which we will cherish throughout the life, and one of that is your first interview, right? So what are your top skills that you should portray on a portfolio? And then what is the difference between a portfolio, okay, and a resume? And sometimes we call it CV. We'll differentiate between that, so that whenever you are sitting in front of interviewers, a group of interviewers, or any person, you should be confident enough in showing your skills, right? And of course, do's and don'ts, what you should be doing it while creating a portfolio and what you should not be doing it. Okay, so these are 4 things. Okay, some helpful resources which I would be sharing you, so that how you can go ahead with this. Right now, when we talk about portfolio building, you don't have to be a very experienced educator with decades of experience to create a portfolio. A participant, an educator who is into their first year, can start building their portfolio right away from your first semester. The only logic for creating the portfolio is it should be showcasing your skills as an educator. Okay, so let's take an example. If I'm good at uh, playing guitar, I should showcase it as a skill that I can pass it on to my audience, irrespective of your expertise, irrespective of your domain of excellence. All right, so that we will be talking about. Now, there are a lot of top resources, top platforms which we can refer. Some of the platform which we would be referring here would be based on Google services. Okay, so some of them are Google apps. Then we have platform which are free of cost, like a WordPress website. How you to go ahead with your WordPress website without any previous knowledge. I'm repeating it. You don't need to be a engineering graduate to create a website. You can create that in 15 minutes. Mind my words, it's only a 15-minute task. If you don't believe, I'll show you how to do that. Okay. And then your first blog, or it can be an article. Many times, as an individual, it's not about just B.Ed students. It's about every student. It's about me also. Whenever we want to create an article, whenever we want to write a status, whenever we want to write a, short paragraph about on and anything, we find it very difficult in finding the motivation. What should I write? Why should I write? What is the importance of this writing? So, from the portfolio perspective, I'll show you why these writings are very important, much more important than any other skill, which you can show in the interview, or maybe while having an online conversation, or, while, taking up sessions in front of students. So this is overall agenda for the next almost 100 minutes, right? So we have 100 minutes with us. So I'm sure everyone is aware of now what we would be covering. Okay. And if you have any questions, you can always stop me in between. Do not make this a one to many session. Make it an interactive session so that, you can ask doubts, you can put your points, and, we can enjoy this session. Right. So is everyone comfortable what we are covering?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Wonderful.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Wonderful,
Yes, sir.
wonderful, wonderful. Right. So let's get started with what you need. Okay. So for attending this session, for creating your portfolio, you just need one email ID. So it's Gmail, or it can be an Hotmail account, right? Nothing else you need. Okay. Rest everything you have your name, you have your qualifications, you have, your 10th and 12th marks, everything is good and sorted, right? So to get started, let me, I will be showing you demonstration, then I will be writing steps, and then I would be giving you time so that you can try this in between the sessions. Okay. Just confirm me if this chat is accessible to everyone. Can you write it on chat?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Wonderful. Okay, so let's get started with this. What are the different ways in which we would be writing it? Okay, so first thing would be accessing your Gmail account. Now, since you are a student and these Gmail accounts are, almost free of cost. So if we go with, my Gmail services, the most important part is these options, that shows you Google Apps, right? So if you click on this, okay, you have all the applications that is provided by Google, right? So I'll go to more from Google Workspace and let's get started, right? Okay, so when we go to this options here, and when we have, all these applications with us, some of them, most of them are free of cost, which we can use. In fact, for educators, for students, learners, if you have your, or your organization account, your school or college accounts, you can always access most of these services for free. Some of them are really helpful. I'll show you some of these apps, but let's get started with first thing first. So when you go to Google, apps, here you will have all the menu. What are the different apps? So if I click on Google products, we'll have, of these options like Drive, Gmail, Calendar, Docs, and everything. Just there we have, something which is, let me show you here. Let's get started with this. So we have something which is known as Google Sites, right? So what and why we need Google Sites and how we can access them. Let's see, and let me show you how to do that. I'm sure you must be aware of Google Classroom, Google Jamboard. Is everyone aware of Google
Yes, sir.
Classroom and Jamboard?
Yes,
Yes,
sir.
sir.
Yes, sir.
Wonderful. So when I go to, if you want to access Google Sites from here, we can access there, or else it's very simple. Just write sites.google.com, right? So when you write sites.google.com, you will be redirected to uh, this application, which is, opened in your account only. Right away, this is my personal account. Okay. So I personally believe in using more of Microsoft services. because most of them are, given to me for free. But again, since Google is accessible to everyone, you are more, comfortable with the Google apps. So that's why I'm first showing you with Google services. Then I will show you with Microsoft apps, right? So here, if you can see, uh, we can create sites. Now, what is the meaning of sites? I'm sure everyone knows websites, right? So websites nowadays, everyone is aware of. In fact, everyone should have one website of their own for your hobby, for your personal and professional journey, for your learnings. And in fact, when you want to share your feelings with outside world, you can use it, your website. Many of us thinks that having a website is a costly and affair, right? You need to invest a lot of money. It's not like that. Let me show you how having a website is very easy. So there are a few templates in front of us, right? You can see a template for portfolio. You can see a template for club. You can see template for events. And of course, if you want to create a website for some helps and support center related to anything, right? So let's take an example. I want to start a eco club. I want to start a technical club, or I want to increase awareness about, let's say, importance of yoga. So I want to start a yoga club. So I can always go with a website. I can make few people as contributor, and everyone can post the respective content, right? So this is where we can go with it, right? Now, when we are following this templates, we have some advantage where things are, predefined for us. Let me show you an template for event, right? So just click on that event. Remember that we are logged in inside our Gmail account, right? So when we click on a template, this idea is, and the idea of template is common for Word, Excel, PowerPoint, and everything. In fact, we have, a similar kind of application compared to Word, PowerPoint, Excel. So let's say if I'm planning an event, okay, and if I want to get started with this theme, right? So let me show with, yeah, okay. So if I want to create my own theme, let's say if I have my personal choice and preference for color palette, some source of primary color or some source of secondary color, like we do it. So we can add all these things. We can add a logo also. So let me create and we can upload a logo. So if I want to upload a logo here, let me just check if I can upload a logo with my, I might have, let's say I am uploading a logo of Microsoft Office Specialist, or we have, that's fine, right? So that's my logo. If I want to add a banner image, we can add a banner image also. So, creating a website is very easy. Let's say this is my banner image, right? And next, right? Now, what are the color combination which we want to go with it? So it depends on us how we want to, some of us has some favorite color. Some of us wants to take a color preference from the logo itself. So we can take up a color preferences. Okay. And let's stick to this one, custom color. Next, what are the title? What should be the font of it? So we can take a font. What should be the way of, font for the text of the body, and create this theme. So we can create our own theme, right? So this is a theme which is created. Now, this is an event. There is my logo. I can always edit a logo. In fact, I'm sure everyone is now aware of this tool Canva. Is anyone who is aware of this tool Canva for designing your own logos and images?
Yes, sir.
If if you're
Yes.
not
Yes,
aware
sir.
of, I'll
Yes,
show
sir.
you how to do that, right? Okay, so these are, common tabs of a website. If you open any website, you will have home, schedule, speaker, venue. This is for the event. If you create your own portfolio, so we can, go ahead and create a portfolio website. So if I compare a portfolio website with an event website, let me show you sites.google.com, and let's go with a portfolio. Okay. So what is the ultimate composition of a portfolio? I'm showing you with a reference to an event website. So just like an event, I guess there is one event in the campus. Can anyone name that event? What is the name of that event? Annual event for AIE?
Sir,
Ullas.
Ullas, cultural event.
Yeah,
Ullas.
so okay. We spell like this.
Right, sir.
Okay. So AIE cultural. Right. So that's a cultural event, and the venue is
AIE
at
campus.
AIE campus. Right. So now, and let's take a tentative date from somewhere in March, April.
Yes, sir.
Say 10th of March.
Yes.
Right. And 2020. Okay, now just like an event website, okay, so you have something about the most important information about the event is always on the top. This is a logic for every website, whether it is portfolio, company, school, college, anything. You have to keep the most distinguished information so that a user had don't have to, run behind to check what is that thing, what is the time, what is the event, what are the group of events, number of schools and colleges participating into it, things like that. Now, if I wish to change it, I can simply go on change and I can upload a new image as a background. Now there are possibilities where you need to create a background. There are possibilities where you already have a background. Similar to this. Now, what will be the overall agenda for the event? We can have images. So if I want to change this image, we can just click and we can edit that, right? So this is how we can upload and new image, right? We can simply replace it and we can image it, or we can, download from Google. We can upload that also, right? So just like an event based website where the idea is to give information to all the participants, visitors who are, planning to visit this event. Similarly, we have portfolio based websites. Now the idea of portfolio is you have to talk about yourself without talking directly. Like, you can never say I am the best educator on the planet, but you can say this thing with the help of your skills and you can show it with the help of your skills. Okay, so there is a difference in saying that you are best in drawing and sketching, and then there is a way where you can show it with the help of your work. So the idea of having a portfolio is not just not just talking about yourself or not just beating around the bushes. Okay, it's about what significant you have done over a period of time, right? So because your journey from the past talks about what will be and how bright will be your future. That's a basic fundamental, right? So the moment I say I am a Microsoft certified trainer, let me, share it for me, right? So the templates is well sorted for someone who is creating it for the first time. So you don't have to be champion of English language for creating a website. You should know about basics of, in sentence formation. So let's say, hi, I am Parth. I'm creating for me, although I have a lot of, portfolio created. And let's say a subject matter expert from Delhi. Okay. Or I can write anything, I can write Microsoft certified trainer, Microsoft certified professional. I have those value additions so that I can, show it. Now, if I want to change this image, it's very simple. Go and upload an image, right? So if I want to upload an image, I can either go here and, upload an image for me, or I can download it, give a link for Google Photos, and there I can download this. So let me upload an image for me. Yes. So I can adjust this image in a way that this can be, adjusted. This is just like how you are uploading and creating your Twitter tweets, Facebook status, and Instagram, status, right? So that's my page. Now we have your name if you want here. So of course I want my name here. So let's take my portfolio is Parth.Shukla. Okay, let's say .com. Okay, we don't have this .com, but I'm entering it because that's a paid service. So domain by which you refer, by which you type that address is a paid service. It is purchased, and if I want to purchase it, I'll let you know how to do that. It's a 200, 300 rupees for a year, not more than that, right? So that's like parth.shukla.com. And now I have to showcase my work. Now on the right hand side, if you can see, there are layouts which you can use. So if I want to showcase my work, I can simply write, I am passionate about sharing my knowledge. Okay. Now why I'm writing this? Because as an educator, as a trainer, corporate trainer, my idea is that my profile should focus on my expertise instead of me talking about I know how to play guitar, I know how to ride bikes, I know how to dance. That has nothing to do with my, teaching skills, especially technical teaching skills in my case. Until and unless you are a, ex teacher for that domain of singing, dancing, drawing, do not talk about that directly. All right, so I'm passionate about sharing my skills and learning new things every day. So, things like this helps a visitor in knowing more about you. Okay. Now, if I have created a presentation, or if I have created a project, or if there is a YouTube video for my presentation, I can link them with single click. How to do that? Let's say I want to add a presentation here. I'm sure with your, course, you might be creating a lot of presentation. Everyone does that, right? So that's about my previous presentations, which are stored inside my slides. Okay, now that is a benefit of creating a site inside Google, that all your work that you have done on, uh, you know, Google Slides, Google Docs, Google Sheets can be attached easily. If you want to upload it, you can upload that also. So I created a slide which was related to, which was related to soft skills, right? So let me add this, right? So once I want to insert it, so this slide is now inserted here. Okay. Now, once this slide is there, then if I want to upload an image for the project, I can upload that project also. So it can be any project which we want to take. So let's take an example. So let's talk about this. Or, I can upload my certificate of achievement, right? Any certificate which I have. So that's one thing. Okay. So if I wish to upload I do have my certification here. So as a badge or certification, we can upload that also, right? So any kind of work that talks about your skills can be updated, right? So I guess let me talk about this. Okay, we can only update an image file. So in this case, okay, so and then if there is some YouTube video which you have created on your YouTube channel, you can upload that also. Okay, so let's say I'm typing for Y. Or if I wish to do it from outside, we can do that also. And let's go to video. So let's say, let's talk about this only. So I just need to copy the link and then we can go with it. So click on share option. And we can paste it here. So if it is our channel, it will be easier to found. Or we can download and upload this video. Anything can be done, right? Now, the overall idea here is if we don't want this thing, let's say I don't want a video here. So I can simply click here and remove this. And then I can put a text or we can increase with the width of this. Since this image is big, that talks about 4 stages of communication, effective communication. So I'm putting up this. So let's take, this was my project. My expert session on how to become an effective presenter, right? So now indirectly I'm talking about that I have done something within this field and this is my area of expertise, right? Now let's select and we can upload a slide or we can select a slide. So the previous slide which was done on these are technical slides. So let me take up something. Cannot replace with an invalid type. So if even if we want to change this and we want to change it with something like image. So let's select this and remove this. And here if I want to add something, I can simply drag this or I can click on it. Now this is an embedded link. So let's say I selected this and here I want to paste this YouTube video link. So whatever link I want to, paste it, I can insert this and this will be on it, right? And this will be played as a banner here. Okay, so I'm creating my website just like a simple game of putting up one thing at a time, right? First one was my image text, second one was a punchline about my website, about me and my portfolio, and then some of my work which I have done. And and again we can go with this. If we wish to remove this, I can simply click here and we can remove this. If I wish to add something from here, these are the layouts. Now there's sometimes we want to put our images just like this. We want to put our images just like this while we are teaching, while we are doing some activity, some fun activity. So we can select this. These options. So the moment you select this, you will have these 3 options. You can click and you have options for showing everything. You can have your images, you can have item from your drive, a YouTube video. In fact, you can show your calendar also. Let's say you are an educator, you want to show what is your schedule on weekdays, weekends, you can show that. And you have an option of a map also. You want to show your office area or maybe some area where you can meet with people, you can highlight that with map. So if I select image option, we can select some of our projects with the images. We can go to photos and we can upload that also. So let's say this is my, images from conferences. So this is one, then select here. I'm sure this is quite easy to understand. If there is any difficulty, you can let me know about it, how we are doing it. And you can do that, side by side also. So if I select, so that's from one workshop, then we can go with images. So whatever, if it is your graduation day, if it is your, welcome speech, or if it is something, you can always put that. And you can make them, as a carousel, just like Instagram. Okay. So that image carousel option is also there. Okay. Now, if you wish to add something here, just like a button, connect with me, mail me, you can contact me, or you want to divide it. So let's say I want to divide these two things with a divider. So I can select this and I can place a divider. So there is a logical divider between these things. So the idea of creating a portfolio based website is, do not put everything on the plate. Make your plate clean, because no matter how tasty you are preparing the food, presentation matters. And website is about presentation as well as the quality of content. So I'm only putting up those images that, signifies and shows and delivers a message, irrespective of, putting everything just to show that you are a person with lot of skills and lot of, you know, things. So never put things like your selfies, or maybe, some random pics, until and unless it is supported by some, meaningful quality content. Okay. So here, if I want to put some kind of charts, if you have done some study, okay, or maybe your work, so you can always put all these elements here. Right. Now it can be, there can be some table of contents. Okay. So let's say if anybody wants to take, if anybody wants my session, so I can have a table of content here also. Right. So this table of content can help us in, talking about how to get started with any particular service. Right. Now here the last option is, so this is about the insert part. Okay. The last option is about the footer part. This one is our footer. So if I add a footer and if I want to change the color of footer, so we can always go with a image on the footer. Okay. Or we can go with a style, which is dark. So, okay. So get in touch, and here I can share my email. Let's say my email is parth.shukla@. So knowledgepro.com. So we call it Knowledge Pro. It is written as Knowledge Pro. So it's quite confusing at times, but that's how. So this is about, now if we want to change the text heading, we can make it a heading. We can make it a title, making it much more bigger. But that doesn't look good. It look annoying. So let's make it a heading. We can change with the fonts, right? Whatever fonts you want to have. Okay. Size can also be changed, and everything can be changed related to it. Right. This can be a link also. Okay. So if somebody clicks here, you can redirect them to the link. So let's say, irrespective of my email ID here, if I want someone to go to my website, or if I want to create a website link here. Okay. So let's say visit my organization. Visit my organization website, which is this, right? So if I want user, so this is my website, I'm copying it and I'll paste it here. Now, pasting it as a hyperlink will redirect user to this, right? So that's one thing. And then you can highlight this. Okay, with a subheading. And if I wish to make it center align, we can make it center align also. Right. So in this way, we can have a basic website portfolio. Now, apart from this, there are few, content we should always have. And what are those content? Okay, and those contents majorly rely on, your introduction, who you are, what you do, your skills, key skills, what you have gathered over a period of time, and what else you do apart from your key skills. It's very important to talk about your initiatives, your key interest area. Okay, so if you are putting up any picture, you can always support them in what you are doing and where it was taken. So let's say participating in industry meet. Okay, this is completing workshop on Microsoft Office certification, and this is honored by Microsoft for maximum workshops in a year. Right. So we can always complete our images, any kind of images with some supporting text. Now, how does it look? Okay. So for that, we can have this option, preview it. Like, how does it look on? Now this, sometimes this doesn't look good, right? So what we'll do, we'll remove this because the font looks like some bookish content, right? So this is how a website will go. And if I click on this, it's a public. Is this audible to everyone?
No, sir.
No.
No,
No,
sir.
no,
Okay.
sir.
So what we need to do, I just need to share my screen again with my voice enabled, right? So the voice thing goes sharing. Now,
Getting a job is one thing. Getting the right job requires preparation, being skilled, capable, and ready.
so this is a video which is being played on my website. You can notice I am not redirected to any YouTube channel for this, right? The user is still on my website, right? Now this is my landing page, home page, right? Now get in touch with, that's my email ID, that's about me, and this is all done in next 15 minutes, not more than that. Now if I wish to add more number of pages, or if I wish to change this, okay, so we can always go back and let's remove this. Okay, and that's about page. Now home and about. Now this about, as you go, is asking you for some impactful statement. Now you can always put something like one liner about educator, education, skills, right? So that thing can be done here. Then you can mention your work experience, similar, what you have done significant, okay, in which company, from which time to which time, or if you have not worked anywhere, you can mention about your internships in schools, your uh, work associated with something which for the society, something for the society upbringing, you can always put it there. Okay, so that will be your about us page, which is very, very important. Okay, now if I wish to have some kind of table here, okay, we can always go with sheets, or we can design with the help of my table of content here can also be there about Now this table of content has multiple objective. Let me show you one objective here. Now if uh, someone clicks on this, they will be redirected to it. But that is all only possible when you are, created your website. So creating means you have to publish this. Okay, so we will publish once all these things are completed. So let's take an example. If I want to put a impactful statement, okay, here. So we can write something, some good liners uh, about skills. They are just those things which attract people, right? And let's see this. Although it's not a good habit, but again, anyone has to start from somewhere. So I'm writing this, making it as a title. Title is too big. Let's make it as heading, stretching it so that it is well spread. Okay, evenly spread, right? And let's make this center align. Okay, then we can write it there. So, when I say client name, so it's like it's something, client. So let's make it as Indian Oil, Infosys, Wipro, and let's make it, whatever, wherever you have done internship, wherever you have provided your services, let's say Capgemini. Okay, and so these are industrial clients. And this also can be, increased. And then we can write AIE, AIMT, and then we have, number of colleges, let's say Delhi University, Mumbai University. Okay, and etc. Right. So I'm just making some of it. Right. So it depends on us how we want to put that. We can put that in the form of tables. We can put that in the form of anything. Right. So these things can be adjusted. Okay. Then work experience, about date, company, job title, profile, we can update, and then followed by education. So, all these things work here also. Whenever you need multiple things, always put a placeholder. Now this placeholder will give you all the options. Okay. In fact, you can upload one PDF also. So let's take an example. If I want that, if anybody wants to go through my resume, they want to download that. So what I can do, I can upload a document right away. So let me upload all files, and yeah, so this is my profile, unsupported image type. Let's have a doc here. And this doc, so we can upload any kind of content. And for any kind of content, let me have a link for my drive. A link will work. So let's say placeholder, and this gives us an option for drive link. and we can share that with our drive so that anyone can, go through it. We have anything for let me just connect with my so one way of doing it is open a drive folder, okay, and then upload everything inside drive so that you can easily create a relevance, right? So if I create a folder, and let's name this folder as my portfolio contents, okay, and let's create this. So all those things which I want inside my portfolio, I can, save it at one place. Now, what are those things? I can upload files. Now, first thing is my profile in PDF, my profile in PowerPoint, my profile in Word, all these things. And then I can upload some images. All those things can be updated so that I can easily refer them whenever I need here. Now here you can see my portfolio content is this. So this is my profile in PDF format. If I want this, we can select this. If I want this, we can select this, anything. Or if I want an image, we can select an image. So this gives us an option for selecting an image here. We can select this also. Even if you go to your recent document, you will have a recent document. So inside this, so any kind of doc can be selected. Or we can have a collapsible group also, group that can collapse by just clicking on this option. Okay, so click to know more. Okay, so this is a collapsible group. So in this way we can prepare our about us page. Okay, I can change this and I can upload a new image. Your images should be high definition so that anyone can this doesn't give a bad look about your portfolio. So this is the only thing we should be aware of. Okay, and project page. So this is really important. So whatever has been my project, so let's say if it is a website for some company or if it is a session for some organization. Okay, so I can write it here, expert session on communication skills. Okay, now I can write 2-3 sentences about my project, where I have done this, what was those, and then I can go ahead with it. Right, so in this way I can talk more about my skills. Okay, some of the images of those sessions we can take up here. Let me just take if I have any of these images. So in this way, we are, almost done with our first portfolio and we can show it to everyone with just a click. So once it is done, let's remove this. Okay. And next project can be just click here, edit this, and next project link you can show it. Workshop on okay, so we can hit this. Now the moment I want to share it with anyone, I can share it with individual people, or if I want that this should be shared publicly, the only thing which we want to do it is click on publish. The moment you click on publish, it will ask what will be the web address. Okay, so let's say if I want to just have Parth Shukla without hyphen, we can have this, but it is already taken, right? So let's make it hyphen. Let's make it under, let's say slash AIE. I'm sure this will be visible. Slash is not allowed. Let's make it AIE. So this is there, right? Now, if I have my own custom domain, I can click on manage and I can add that also. That's very easy. Okay. If I want that public search engine should not display my site, I can click here and click on publish. This site has been published successfully. Click on view. Now this is my public site. So if I go to home, let's take an example. Let me go to about us and home. So this is a link. Let me know how many of you are able to access this. Just click on the link and let me know if it is accessible to everyone.
Yes, sir.
Is it
Yes, sir, it's
accessible?
accessible.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
So the point here is now how to divide this whole portfolio building into number of steps. Let me show it with everyone so that now everyone can understand what are the exact logic behind it. Just give me a second. Okay, so now anyone who wants to ask anything, any questions here, like what will happen, how to do, any doubt? Easy. So if I give you 10 minutes, can you create your landing page or maybe, half of that with something about your portfolio?
So,
Yes.
so like you said that anyone who's also in first year or second year can make a e-portfolio. So my
Yes.
question is the person who's in a first year or maybe people like us, we don't have much in our plate. Like you have given your example, so you have a lot of things to showcase, so but sir, we don't have much. So can you give us our own examples? What should we write? Because we might go blank in showcasing what we have in our plate.
True, true. Let me show you that, it's a valid point because being a student, especially in your first year, it's quite difficult to showcase your skills, right? But I'll show you some of your seniors' website when they were in the first year. Maybe I might have something here in my project only. So it's like, yeah, so when I go to sites and also show you some of the publicly available sites, and how they have created. So Let me show you with this. So now being a student, what are the things that you can go with? Okay, and how you can create one. Okay, you might not have, all of the best images, right? Or you might be, open only for talking about your skills or talking about your, expertise. So what you can do is fairly simple. Let me write down in the form of steps, right? What are the things what everyone can do? Just give me 2 minutes, right? Yeah, so now I'm all set. So being a student, what all you can do and what are the steps here? I Let me check if I have anything here. Not exactly here. Okay. If you see online, a lot of participants, those who are new to this site making, they can also create, they have, created a lot of portfolios, and what these portfolios are all about. Without referring internet, let me show you with this. Okay, so portfolio for an, for a student should have, or let's say can have, following points. Now, what
Excuse me,
are
sir.
those?
Sir,
Sir, the
are you?
screen is not visible.
Yes, sir.
Screen
Your
is
screen is
visible.
not visible. No,
Not
sir.
yes, sir.
No, sir.
Let me share it again.
Even sir, you are also not visible. I hope you switch off your camera.
Yeah. So
Yeah,
now
now it
I'm
is. Yes,
yeah.
now you are visible.
Okay, so is it visible now? Screen? It's my
Yes, sir.
screen.
Yes,
Yes.
sir. Now visible.
Okay. So what should, you know, an audience, what should you have in your portfolio? Okay. No matter if you're a first year student and a second year student, you are always there with this thing which is about us, with the website, and that's more about you. Okay. Like what is your aim? Okay. And what is your belief or what is your thought process? Okay. Now you need not to have various recommendations, various degrees for having these two things. Now, apart from that, what kind of difference you want to make in? Now, this might look a bit more of an interview script, but this is how your portfolio generally goes. And then what are your expert areas? Now, expert area does not mean that you should have done some kind of PhD. So if you are coming from a domain of masters environments, let's say your expert area can be as simple as creative writing. It can be reading. It can be, anything. It can be related to psychology. It can be related to anything related to education. Okay, which you can show it here. Then there are common things that every educator being a student should talk about. It's more about, importance of importance of reading skills. So you should always show your top 3 books. You know, even if you are in first year and you have mentioned that any example of famous book that most of the students like? Any example? Anyone?
Ikigai.
So let's take an example. I write. Can you spell that thing? What the name of that book? Ikigai. Yeah.
Ikigai.
Is it right? Now, just by writing that this is your this is your favorite book doesn't make any difference. You should write why this book is your favorite. So you can always write 5 lines about the moral of the book. Now, in this way, soon you will realize that you have a lot of content to write on your portfolio. I personally, look out for things like personal views. Now, what are personal views section? So every week or every month or sometimes in a year, you can write personal views on trending incidents. So when I say trending incidents, I'm not talking, I'm not, reflecting to write about UP elections or PM Modi or maybe Rahul Gandhi. No, we are not talking about it. Do not write anything which is debatable that can, show a different image of yours. Always write things like uh, current trends, anything, any trend it can be. And the common thing is nowadays is online education. You can always talk about it. What is so unique about online education? Or maybe
Sir,
something.
NDP.
Yeah, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Importance of faculty training. You can write about things related to something.
The new education policy
New
members
education
management.
policy, NEP, of
Yes.
course. How can I miss this? So NEP 2020, how much it is effective. I have seen that students who are, going through this online education are much more technology friendly. They know how to use Microsoft Teams. They know how to use Word, PowerPoint, Excel. So the best advantage that people who are passing, who are, graduating in 2022, 2023, they can always talk about things like how to set up online meeting with name any tool, let's say MS Teams, in 5 steps. So when you write anything like this on your portfolio will certainly will showcase a public article kind of an image where people will share your section of portfolio, refer to that particular portfolio. There the student has mentioned how to set up an online meeting on Microsoft Teams in 5 steps, or how to write a blog in 10 minutes. Okay. Okay. So in this way, you are writing content and nobody can stop you while you are writing all these things on your portfolio, because being a first year audience, you are all only aware about all these things, right? Now, sometimes if you are a passionate writer, only in that case, do not take it, from someone else's point. But if you are a passionate writer, you can write about your poems. Okay, you can write about your writings, and of course, you can go with your thoughts. Okay, but it should not be something like Dear Diary. Today I was having heavy breakfast, so I am feeling sleepy. Goodbye. Don't write things like that, because it's not about your daily diary. Okay, it's more about how good you are with writing skills, right? Because a person who indirectly talks about these 3 things, the idea is moral of a very good or efficient portfolio is. Now, whenever you are writing an efficient portfolio, okay, I am missing out this. Yeah, this is a writer. Is it should talk about following pointers. Number one is that you are a very good reader. Okay. And how can you talk about multiple things without reading it? So you have to indirectly talk about your reading skills. Okay. Now, it doesn't matter whether you like reading Chetan Bhagat or write like reading something like, international bestseller, fiction, non-fiction, or, Wings of Fire, anything. It should talk about reading skills. You can also write about class 9th, 10th, 11th textbooks about their writer, about their journey for, anything. Second thing is it should, talk about your writing skills also. The worst thing that you can have in your portfolio website is spelling mistakes. Do not go with spelling mistakes. Get your website proofreaded by someone else, right? Then it should also talk about your intellectual skills. How good you are with your intellect. Now, when I go with intellect, what I'm referring to this. So I'm referring to something where, you're talking about. Let me show you how we spell that. Anyone who would like to help me with this? Intellect. Is it double T? Is it
So
right?
So
T-E-double-L.
Right. Now, so now this comes with, it indirectly shows how smart you are, or how how much depth you have when it comes to writing content, and how mature you can be with words. Okay, so indirectly we are talking about these things, right? Maturity. Now whenever we are talking about above these things, then the next thing is current, updated with current trending topics. Okay, and then in last you can talk about, your school, college experiences, and of course learning from them is very important. Let's take an example. I'll write, suppose I participated. I'll tell you a very funny story on my website, on my portfolio only. Where is my portfolio? So here about, in about section, and here let's click on this site section. Where is my site? There it is. This is the best thing about this site is whatever I will be updating, you will be, getting that link. So if I go to my about us, and here I can write something about in the form of text box and something in the form of text, right? So in class, let's say 11th, I had my greatest learning. Now this is from the perspective of that you are a student, right? This is not from the perspective of that I am a corporate trainer, so I can write about my life for, next 2-3 hours. So I had my greatest learning of my right life. If you are not fluent with writing English, write in bulleted points, right? You know, and that was, I can write the whole story, and but I'm writing because of the less time constraint. Winning is not important, or winning is not everything. Okay. But the spirit of winning is everything. Now I can write a story, supporting this. Now, if it is a genuine story, then only it will be appreciated. But if you are cooking up a story that doesn't look good, it will not be appreciated. So in this way, it gives us this option. In this way, we can, verify our mistakes, spelling mistakes, and okay. So we can, talk about all these things. So this gives a personal touch to your website, and then you can go and you can review changes and publish. Okay. So in this way, you are good. So this is your draft, what you want, and this is currently published website. Okay. So if I go to this is how it will look like. Click on publish, single click publish. Now this is about the thing. So I'm sure you got your point. Being a student, what you can write. Does it answer your question?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so it's not about who you are, it's about the motivation, why you should have a portfolio website. So the question why we need a web portfolio, the answer is quite simple. To showcase our skills. Okay, we should have a portfolio. Okay, and you cannot wait for that opportunity that I'll talk about me. I'll talk about me and in front of that people or interviewer, because many times your interviews is decided in first 5 minutes, and 5 minutes is a very less time to showcase your skills. So you have to prepare a full-fledged plan and strategy with the help of a portfolio based website. Now the next thing is, of course, we have discussed about the top 5 skills of an educator. So as an educator, these are the things being a student, but if you are a person with a bit of experience, you can add on all these things, your views, your personal views, and of course the top 5 skills. And this is not only about the educator, but this is something that everyone should be aware of, right? Now, what's the difference between a portfolio and a resume? I will explain you with an example. Let's take one more example of a WordPress website, because WordPress gives you a lot of template. So if I want to create a WordPress website, WordPress website, just type it on Google and you will be first redirected to this WordPress. Create websites in minutes. In fact, you can go to WordPress or you can go to any other free of cost website hosting, right? So start your site. Here also you need one Gmail account to, create an account here. So let's say I'm creating my account with the help of this. My username is Parth and my password is, choose a password. So let's choose something which we can remember and create an account. That username already exists. Parth Shukla 22. Okay, and with this email ID already exists. Let's go with Hotmail. Now choose a domain. So I don't want to choose a domain, or let's write it like something like Parth Shukla 2022. Why I'm taking 2022? Because I already have this domain with me, right? So it is asking me if you want to have it or if you want to go with a free of cost domain. So if I want to have this, I have to pay something like $1,000, $300. Okay. Or I can go with a Parth Shukla 2022.wordpress.com. So that's free. So let's select this. And this includes like what are the things which we have with free of cost, or I can start with free. So we are not discussing about the financials here. So let's go with a free website. This is again simple, but this has, some advanced features compared to Google site. Yeah. So where you will write your ideas into the Word, or you will start creating a website. What do you want to have? So we can write it or we can build it. So I'll prefer, building it first. So let's create building. Now, what are the things which you want to have it here? Okay, what kind of theme you want, what kind of images you want, you can have it. Okay, so again, here also we can search for like what are the themes. So you want to create a blog, go with a blog theme. So this is how a blog look like. Some paragraph followed by an image and some conclusion at the end. Or if it is a portfolio, just right away click on a portfolio. Now this is much more UI specific. Okay, you should have some images and then you are good with the portfolio. So what I want, so which one should I select? Any suggestions? 1, 2, 3, 4.
The third one.
This one is good, Calvin.
Yes, sir.
So let's see, start with Kelvin. You can always preview them also. But with every skill, designing, writing, reading, these are artistic skill in nature. So you have to do it every day. You cannot be James Bond in one day. No one can. In fact, I have been doing it every day. So that's why I am aware of these basic things, right? Now give your name a site. So let's name my site as something which I can give it here. Yeah, so site name is, I can write it here. Okay, so this is the link, how it should look like. And whenever I want to write it or whenever I want to go with this, so name your site. So let's say my site title is my journey as a educator, right? That's my title. And explore, this was my last title, explore funds inside programming. Explore fun in learning new skills. Let's say in learning new tech skills, right? So this looks much more relevant. And then there is some icon. So let's change this. Again, the same steps I'm following, which I was following in Google Sites. Upload media, browse free images. So let's browse for some free images and let's write for something like Parth. If I can get a P, no, educator. Yeah, so these are some of the free images, but this is for the site only. So let's make it as, let's see if I can get something for my company, Knowledge Pro, no image, soft, it's online classes, and how much zoom I want. So okay, this image looks big. Let's make it like this. So this will be a simple icon, right? And we can go with logo. We can always go with a logo and we can have it from Canva. Okay, getting a logo is not something different. This site is on English language. Okay, I'm sure we have other languages also. Like we don't have any other regional language, but we have international languages here. So if we are doing it for any other country, we can do that. Site zone, time, and the launch site. We can always launch them, or we can have a coming soon also, that this is coming soon. We can customize footer credits. So that can also be done. Okay, change your site address, delete your content, delete your site. That's it. So we don't want this thing. So this is about and save settings. Now, similar to this, if I go to my home, okay, update your home page. So if I want to edit my home page, okay, what are the things which we can do? So let's go to edit. So this is also a step-by-step procedure. So inside edit portion, I can write more about my website, my experience of technology. I can review product also. You might have seen, nowadays it is very common. Hello friends, this is my YouTube channel. Today I'm unboxing a phone. Today I'm doing this. you can use a website, not exactly for this, but talking something more about a policy, a subject, a topic, anything. Okay, so then let's talk about this. So if I wish to change anything here, we can always go with this option and we can change it. Okay, so here click on edit and then we can always write about it. Okay, so as per the circle of Ikigai. Okay, and then we can write. Now on the right hand side, I can change. I can make all these things changed here. Okay, we can go with it. We can change images. We can add elements also here. So if I wish to add more number of elements, something like what you want to add, you want to add an image, heading. So connect with me on parth.shukla@knowledgepro.com. Right now, if I wish to change anything, like instead of heading 2, it should be heading 3, making it smaller, heading 4. So, these things are there, right? And further, we can have gallery images. Let me upload some of the images. So any kind of thing you can take up, irrespective of the fact what kind of website you are creating, and what is the purpose of this portfolio based website. What else images we can keep? So here I can upload multiple images. It's a GIF, right? So write gallery option, we can write about it. And whenever I want to, preview this, so where I want to preview, desktop, tablet, mobile, preview in new tab. So this is how it will look like. Okay, so this is a preview. That's why this header is coming. And studies of blue, as per the circle of Ikigai, we can write more about it. And this is about my images, blog@wordpress.com. Now, if I want to publish or if I want to change theme, edit page, click here, you can go and edit the page. So the WordPress also is exactly same. And then when you do it on WordPress, you will also get that there are a lot of other ways of creating a portfolio. But with every platform, you will have some advantages. Like here, there are some nice themes. There are some more options which we can have. Okay, we can have allow comments option where people can write comments. Okay, so that update, and whenever I want to, launch this site so that it is visible to everyone. So I don't want to buy anything. This is free for first year, Parth Shukla 2022.in. Is it really free? .co.in. So these are the options. .net.in, .co.in. So let's select this. But still it's asking for some money. We don't want to give it. So what should we do? Let's go with start with the pre-site. So your site will be live shortly. In take 10 minutes, another 10 minutes, this website on WordPress is also live. So, creating a portfolio is just a matter of motivation. And of course, you need to have some sort of strategy, right? So here, if I want to remove this, I don't want to pay anything. And no plans at all. for any kind of payment. So let's see if this is visible. Parth Shukla 2022.wordpress.com. Yeah. So if anybody clicks on this, so that's the website. And if you wish to open this here. Yeah. Yes. So just let me know if it is visible. Is it visible to everyone?
Yes.
So, any point of time, if you wish to write, if you wish to change theme, if you wish to do anything, it's up to you how you want to explore it. So it's a tool which you can use. The best thing about WordPress is it gives you a feature where you can check how many people are visiting, how many visitors. So there is an option of stats. Is it visible? That traffic. Now, if 10 people are visiting my link, I want everyone, to visit. At least click on the link. Let me show you. It will show a number of visitors here. Can you see 12 visits, views, one visitor? Okay. If you write any comments, it will show you comments also. You won't believe a class 9 student. He is my cousin brother. I just need to check out for his online website on WordPress. He is writing on blogs about cars, about sports car. So let me show you. Shukla for blogs. So he has a full-fledged website where he writes about cars. So if a class 9 student can write about blogs on using WordPress, anyone can write, right? So sportscar.net, is it the same thing? Let me just. By the guns by. I might be, missing out on this, but there are, car blogs which can be written. So there are a lot of ways in which, you can write about a book, about a subject, about anything, any kind of inclusive learning, and you can, share your email also. So in this way, these blogs, writing blogs is one way of, understanding that how good you are with this skill. And when you practice this skill over a period of time, you master that skill, right? So creating a portfolio is just a matter of, getting a good motivation and finding the right content. So there are 37 views. Okay. And on this particular day, right? So where, in which location in from India, where they are coming, how they are referring, who is referring. So Microsoft Teams is referring. Okay, so from there they are coming. This is also visible. Okay, so in this way, there are a lot of tools also which you can get from here. If you wish to know more about the comment traffic, how many people are writing comment. Okay, There are tools for marketing. There are tools for, promoting yourself on social media. So let's say you are good with a particular skill. You can create a website. If you don't want to create a website of your own, you can help someone in creating their website. And that is absolutely free. People can message you. You have an inbox also. They can drop you a message where you can have a custom email ID if you will go for a free for a plan, right? And getting a domain name is not very expensive. You can get domain name for as cheap as 300 to 500 rupees for a year with your registered with your name. But your name, your domain should talk about something exclusive, something unique. It should not be, if it's a portfolio, it can be your name. If it is something else, it should be based on that, expertise. So that's one area where you can create a WordPress website. There is a drag and drop tool also. If you wish to have a drag and drop tool, you can go with this website, which is very famous, GoDaddy.com. I'm sure you must be knowing about this famous website portal. Mahendra Singh Dhoni is a brand ambassador. So if you wish to know more about it, you can always explore and you can get this for free. Okay, again, a website based on this WordPress. Right. So just click on get it now. Enter your domain, or if you don't want to enter it, you can directly get. Okay, I'm already logged in here. So domains, hosting, security, email. So we can always go with this. So there are managed WordPress e-commerce websites. There are WordPress hosting for this. I guess let me. Okay. So we can, go with drag and drop options. Just write, simple drag and drop paste website. There is one website by the name of Wix, Wix, right? Portfolio template. So you can always go with a Wix portfolio and CV template. So you can have a full-fledged CV in the form of a website. Okay. Like, I guess, where is portfolio? So if you are good at photography, you can always put your images, your work, and you can talk about it. So that's a kind of portfolio for creative designers, for photographers, for UI UX expert, 3D artist, all these things. Right. So in this way, you can always go with a fashion designer, how they will have a portfolio. So that's where you can select one. Let's say I am a illustrator, so I'll go with this edit option. I'll edit this and I can have it. So any platform, all those platform nowadays supports free of cost website creation. The only thing is if you pay them, you will have your own domain name, registered with your own domain name. That's the whole thing. Okay. So I'm sure this answers everyone's query. Like now everyone is aware why we need a portfolio, how we can get one portfolio in 15 to 20 minutes. And these are the platforms, different platforms you can get. Any questions before we know what is the time? Let me just check. It's 12:48. So we have still 12 minutes with us. Any questions, any doubts, if anybody wants to take up anything?
Sir, one question I have.
Yeah, yes, ma'am.
Sir, please tell us the way how to insert the tab, the another tabs in Google Sites. Like you
Okay.
have
Multiple
mentioned,
tabs, right?
yes, multiple tabs, right, sir.
So if I go to Google Sites, yeah, so suppose we have, these options here, and if I want to add or if I want to work with this, there is an option where, if we go to settings option, so we have, let me show you. So let's make it a banner or a title only. This analytics option is also there inside here. So if I wish to add multiple tabs, let me just check for this, because these tabs, multiple pages, you have pages here. Yeah, this is option. Is it visible? Pages, home,
Yes,
about us, project.
right,
If
sir.
I wish to add more, let's take an example, science fair 2020. Okay. And if I wish to have custom path, we can have that also. So this is for my science fair 2020. So in a way, I can go on with my, all these things. Let's now if there is a possibility, if I click on this, I need to have a new menu. So I can have a new menu, and this new menu will be something like workshops in 2021. Now this can give an option to a new link also. Okay, so in this way I can go on creating multiple options. If I want to add a header or if I want to add anything, we can add. Same if this theme is created, if this is created and I want to switch to a new theme. So this was a simple theme, but I wish to go with a impression one. So this will put up a new menu and vision with a different color. We can always go with this. So that's how we can put number of tabs, images, like, calendar. If I wish to have my calendar, the best thing about Google is whatever you do it on Google, you will have calendar, you will have tools automatically added. So if I wish to insert this, so this shows my calendar. Now, if it is allowed, let's say, most of the time, if a person has a very busy schedule, so, their calendar will be full. So this calendar we can show month-wise, week-wise agenda, right? Similar to this, we can have other things also, right? So, and this is dynamic. Whatever you are doing changes here will be, published just with a just click. This is responsive also. If you wish to see how it looks like inside a mobile, you can see that. So this is about the tablet and this is about the mobile. This is the best thing. But if you want to develop it, using HTML5, JavaScript, CSS, it will take hours. But this is an easier thing. There are a lot of examples of, if you want to take an example from online resources, we are just a query away. So it's like famous educator templates using Google Sites. So you can get 27 examples of Google Sites, where educators have used it, and Pinterest gives you a lot of examples, so you can go through this. So these all websites are created using Google Sites. Okay, all these things, how they have put it there, resume, profile. Now this is about, again, made with Google Sites. Okay, so it's all depends on your creativity, how good you want to go ahead with. Okay, and what is the purpose that you are solving? Is it a information broadcasting website, or if it is something about a product, a process, or something more about, work, your experience, this is for the school. Right? So you can always go with it. So these are all websites, created using Google Sites. You can always go with this. Okay. Any other question? Then you can search it on, internet. There are plenty of things that you can do. Plenty of images, plenty of, illustrations which you can go. So this is about WordPress. This is about Google. And what is there? What is the difference between a resume and a portfolio? That was one thing which was remaining. Let me start with this, So if I take up an example, okay, so how a portfolio is different from resume slash CV. By the way, anyone who would like to differentiate between what is the difference between resume and CV? Is there any difference?
The portfolio, we can say it is visual. We can see things and we can relate to it. And resume is just a document, plain document.
It can be a document, or it can be, nowadays it is generally a soft copy, which you can share it on mail. Okay. What else you can write in a portfolio? Portfolio is a word which is generally used by designers, architect, right? Who else? Or people who are with, developer, they have portfolios. That's why whenever you want to take a service of a designer, you always ask them, show me your portfolio, so that they can show their work with the previous clients. But as an educator, you are new and you have just started your journey. So what work you can show? You are not doing some freelancing, but you can always show in detail. So, in detail analysis of your previous work. Now it can be a report. I'm sure everyone knows what is a report. So whenever you visit an industry, you write a report. Suppose you're visiting a school, college, university, or maybe, some industry. So reports can be there, stats can be there, facts can be there, your personal vision can be there, all those things which we have written above can be there on a portfolio. But you cannot write a short summary on your resume. So you cannot write, my favorite book is Wings of Fire, and let me write 5 lines about it. You cannot write that, because your resume is crisp, short. It is not a document, it is not a book. So portfolio gives advantages like this. Okay, so anything which you want to, show it in detail, or let me use this word, in depth. Okay, so if you want to show anything in depth, use a portfolio. What else? And this is, short and crisp. What else is a difference, major difference between a portfolio and a resume? Any other thing?
So resume describes our qualification and skills, whereas portfolio supports it by examples.
Yeah. So when you say, you know, when you say that your rank in the university was among 500, top 500 in 2023, right? So you can, write about your experience, again, in-depth analysis of it. So if I write, let me show you that I am good with, let's say, website, or I am good with a singing. So, here I can write I'm good with singing. Here I can upload a video, or I can upload a SoundCloud audio also. Okay, so that indirectly shows, yes, you have taken that skill up to a new level. So the idea remains the same. Okay, so this is the major difference. It can be related to, arts. So one of my, you know, So many of participants will be thinking that I'm giving an example from my family tree, but one of my cousin brother is a artist and his channel is Yash Bharadwaj Arts. I don't know if he is there on YouTube, right? Yeah, so he is around 14 years of age, and this is his channel, right? Now if I show you his arts, he has created many things on Instagram, on different things. So let me show you. So if I want to showcase this as a portfolio, we can do that also because he's available. So that's one thing. Okay, so that's one thing which can be shown here, right? Some of his drawing, right? So where were we? Yes, we were talking about this. So you can support them. Okay, you can write them and you can talk about them, your experience, right? Any other difference
Sir,
between a portfolio and a resume? Yes.
yes, sir. One question that if you have the student have a blog already,
Yeah.
and now the student needs to create one website or portfolio for the teaching purpose, the teacher education, teacher purpose.
Yeah.
So is it possible to give the link of the existing that blog or existing that portfolio to the
Yeah.
newly created one?
Exactly. So let's take an example. Uh, there is, let me show you. Yeah. So if I go to this website here, now since website cannot have much of detail, you cannot write 1,000 words on a website, but you can write it on a blog, right? So in this case, if I wish to go, let me just open this. So what I can do, I can give a link to my blog right away on my website. So I can ask my user that this is the blog that I have written. To know more about it, follow the link. So what happened is, so let's take an example that if I write a blog on Google site and I want to give a link of Google site to my WordPress website, right? So here we can have a text box, and inside a text box, there is an option of link. So here I can write my blog on National Education Policy 2020. Okay. And here, this is the link part. So text will be here, and here the link will come from my WordPress website. So this wordpress.com link, and I can paste it here and apply. So what will happen when the user clicks on this link, they will be redirected to my blog. So, I can create series of blogs like this. This is one, this is two. Okay. And this is my second blog. This is my third blog. Okay. And all these blogs will be, they can be anywhere. They can be on a blogger website. Okay. There are blogger websites also. It can be on my WordPress website where I can create a tab and I can ask a user, or I can have multiple blogs in that tabs also. So once I update this, it will be published and visible. So the user will get to know about each and every blog activity. So I guess it
And sir,
was
in
great.
similar way, they can paste the link of their YouTube videos and
Everything.
yes,
Every possible thing. When you have this power of link, you can paste it. Any link can be pasted anywhere. So
right,
your website link can be pasted on Instagram, on Facebook, on Twitter. Your Twitter link can be pasted on website. So
right,
people can come from your website and go to Twitter, and they can come from Twitter and go to your website. So because of that link.
Right.
So that's the power of a website. But for creating a website, there are few questions that you should be clear in the mind of creator. Why you are creating it, what purpose you are serving. Let me write it here. For a portfolio, we have already written. So until and unless those questions are answered, it's very difficult to complete the process. It's very easy to start the process, but it is very difficult to complete it. Okay, so in order to complete a website, we should have following information with us. Right. And what is that following information? First thing, let me know if I'm taking up more time. It's 1:04. I'll just quickly wind up, right? I'm sure everyone is hungry and your lunch is calling. It's lunchtime. It's very difficult to hold on for a lunch sitting at home. So, and okay, so let's go to home. Let's create pointer. First thing is why we are creating a website. So, whenever you're doing it, always put that in bulleted points, why you are creating it. OK, it can be for your personal branding. OK, it can be something like this, or for writing blogs, for sharing knowledge, whatever it is. OK, it should be mentioned, because sometimes we start from point A and then we are deflected to point B. And it is very common in case of, when you are a student. Second thing is, who is my audience? If I'm writing for recruiters, OK, so I should be clear what kind of words I should be using. So it can be recruiters, or it can be, in case of, when you are working as a teacher, when you're working as a educator in a school. So of course your audience is school principals, directors, deans, all those things, right? So you should be aware of your words, your grammar, your English, all those things. Okay, so yes, this is wrong, right? So it should be clear with everyone's audience that why you're writing it. Okay. And if it is for school kids or, for general public, then you are free to use any kind of thing, any kind of experience, any kind of thing. So who is your audience? And of course, what is the unique content on your website? In case of your portfolio, unique content is your own experience yourself, right? In case of any other thing, it can be anything. So these are some of the things which everyone should be aware of. Okay, so if I wish to share this with everyone, I can share it in chat. You can copy paste it and you can have it, right? So that's it from my side. If I'm missing on anything, let me know. If we have a limited time, and I have this habit of discussing a lot of details, so that's why my sincere apologies if I'm missing on anything. But I'm sure this session might have given you some kind of insight about creating your website, why we should have a portfolio being a student. And and in your campus, every student creates a portfolio. You need to have one, because when you move it to one of the top schools in our area, you should show that how well qualified you are and how you are different from other people, because that is the only thing which we have to do whenever we are going with this. right? You have to show it to people how different you are and what is difference you will make when you join their team as an educator, right? So that's the whole thing and moral of this session. Okay, so any questions before we say final goodbye for the session?
Yes, students, any question?
Any doubt, any questions?
Sir, many of these students are good bloggers. Now they only need to convert whatever is there in the blog for this their better placement purpose.
Yeah. In fact, if you can write well and if you can, read others, articles also, I would recommend everyone to go with a very simple looking, portfolio for a website, because most of the time, just like everyone is not a good reader, so they are fascinated about the images part. So if you are putting images into it, if you are putting and creating short animations using slides, if you are writing, short videos, if you're creating, so, audience find it easy, especially school kids. So if you are talking about, let's say Pythagoras theorem, in a paragraph, I don't know how many students will read it, but if you talk about same Pythagoras theorem in a video, everyone will find it easy, because our nature of audience, students of schools, can really connect with it. Or if you can, come up with a live session altogether. I've seen many of your seniors creating YouTube videos on it. In fact, one of your senior was creating YouTube videos on Pani Puri, on a different types of Pani Puri. So you can always go on your creativity skills. It's not about what you do. Okay. It's more about how well you can do that. Okay.
Right.
Be it any skill. So, and if anybody wants to reach up to me, you can find me on LinkedIn. LinkedIn is a professional network. So there, having a professional network nowadays is also a very good portfolio. So if you wish to follow me on there, so LinkedIn, and you just need to go through this. So one way of creating a very good portfolio in terms of professional network, so that you are connected to all the school principals, school teachers in advance, knowing what is there, you can always go with this. So this is one platform, just like your professional network of, Facebook. So there you have, most of the options already. So if you wish to know more about it, you can ping me on this. You can get me my details by the name of Parth Shukla, and of course my company name Knowledge Pro. Okay. By the way, I'm alumni of your university only, a master's graduate from IP University. And of course, I have been doing a lot of, workshops. So you might find these kinds of, sessions. Some of the sessions I have done, I remember this session, which was done last year. And yeah, for faculties, right? So you can always be create such kind of things. You can always participate in. It was based on Google Jamboard and all these things around, I guess, 2 years back somewhere. Yeah.
Yes.
So so, always this past historical record shows how you have traveled all these years, right? So in a way, if you create all these content once in a week, you will have a lot of things to discuss after a year when you move for that final interaction, right? So this LinkedIn is also a very good network for, professional network, especially keeping your recruitment, your first interviews and internships in mind. You can always connect with various school staff, and you can know more about what they are doing. I'm also connected to a lot of faculties who have participated in my sessions, and that's how you can connect with them via, me or via anyone else, right? So that's something which anyone can do. This is my LinkedIn, network profile. So you can ping me over there
Sure,
also.
sir. Sure,
Right.
sure. Okay,
So
sir.
I'm
Thank
sure
you so
my
much, sir.
thank you. Thank you for
And
having me. It's always a
yes,
pleasure
sir.
talking to bestest of the mind, brightest of the mind. coming from various reputed, institutions. So thank you for having me here. Thank you everyone for listening to me so patiently. Listening is a skill, and I'm sure everyone is blessed with that. Thank
And
you.
thank
You
you
are our
so much,
teacher,
sir, for
sir.
your valuable time, sir. And pardon me, sir, for pronouncing your company name wrongly.
That's
Actually, I pronounced it Nine Less Pro, but it is Knowledge Pro.
yeah.
So pardon me for that. And
So
thank you very much for explaining that how we can create our own website. And you explain all the steps in very easy to understand and simple way. And I hope with the help of this session, all my students can create their own portfolio website. And thank you so much for your valuable time. And on behalf of Training and Placement Cell, I once again, sir, thank you for this session, valuable session, sir. Thank you, sir.
thank you. Thank
Thank
you,
you,
ma'am.
sir.
Thank you, everyone.
Thank you so much, sir.
Thank
Thank
you,
you.
sir. Thank you, sir.
Okay, sir. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
So, sir, can we leave the meeting?
I'll end this meeting for everyone then.
Sure, sir. Sure, sir, sir.
Thank you.
And sir, please provide the recording and the attendance list, sir. Thank
Yes,
you.
yes.
Thank you so much, sir.